Hi everyone and welcome to today's Mobility Flow. We're going to start onto our hands and knees. So just bring yourselves up. I'm going to make sure you've got your shoulders over your wrists, your hips above your knees, and a nice neutral spine, so just lift up into that belly button a little bit. So from here we're going to go through a few arches. So when you do that, you're going to lifting your chest, tilting your pelvis back, allow your belly button to drop down, and I'm going to round up through the spine, dropping the head down, curling through your shoulders. I'm just going to do the same again a few times. Breathing in as you go through that arch. Breathing out, curling up, going bit by bit through your spine. And again, breathing in as you open. If you've done yoga before, you might recognise this as cat and cow. And just curling up as you breathe out. So just starting to wake up the spine a little bit. Taking a few more times each way. Good, just last one. So remember breathing in as you arch, opening up that chest. Breathing out, curling up. And then bring yourself back to a neutral spine, so nice flat back. You're going to take a few circles for the wrists. So spread the fingertips into the floor and just start to go around, drawing a circle with the body. Good, again, just watch out that your lower back doesn't arch, keep that little bit of engagement through your core muscles. These nice big circles around. Keep the whole of the palm on the floor. And then just going the other way. Just take it nice and slow to start with. Good, just the last one. Excellent, bring it back to the middle. We're going to tuck through the toes, start to walk your hands in ever so slightly, and just put your weight more onto your feet. So try and spread all 10 toes into the floor. I'm just going to take a little rock forward onto the hands, and back. So just gently soften through the elbows as you come forward, and you should get a little bit of a stretch through your Achilles, back of the ankles when you rock back. Again, so just waking up through the soles of the feet. And it doesn't really matter if your heels touch the ground, just go as far as you feel comfortable. Excellent, taking the last one. And then just bring yourself back, dropping the knees to the floor. Excellent, okay, so next thing we're going to do, we're going to come to sitting onto one hip. I'm going to have both my legs at 90-degree angles, trying to keep the feet flexed. So starting off with the hands behind you. Again, try and sit up as tall as you can the whole time, so lift up through those abdominal muscles. And then with the knees, we're just going to go up and over, kind of like windscreen wipers, from right to left a few times. And you want to try and get the knees moving roughly at the same time, keeping the hips on the floor and the heels on the floor. So just watch out that the front foot doesn't come too close in to start with. We're just trying to keep those 90-degree angles through the knees. Good, and then if this starts to feel comfortable, you can take the hands off the floor. Doing the same thing, trying to maintain that tall posture throughout. And yeah, you might start to notice that you travel forward a little bit. That's absolutely fine. Just reshuffle back if need to. Good. Let's go from internal to external rotation. Go through all those little clicks along the way. Good. Last one. Well done. I'm just going to shuffle back slightly. So we're going to add on a little section to that. So I'm going to be on my right hip to start with. I'm going to allow the knees to go over. From here, I'm going to shift my weight forward onto my shin and push the hips up. So literally squeeze your glutes forward and try and get your body vertical. And then we're going to sit yourself back down with control. Knees going the other way. Same thing on the other leg. So we're going to push up onto your front shin. And then gently coming back down to the floor. We're going to do this a few times. If you can, try and do it without using the hands to help you. If you need to, you can give yourself a little boost with one hand to come up. But send the hips back, back over with the knees again. Up onto the shin. And you're trying to go as smoothly as possible, resisting any little jolts along the way. And yeah, I kind of keep my hands normally in front of me just to keep them out of the way, but obviously if you do need to use them, feel free to. Good, I'm just going to do it one more time. Finishing on this one here. Good, again, I'm just going to shuffle back slightly. So last one, working through the hips. Again, keeping that sort of 90-degree angle position. I'm going to have my hands behind me. I'm going to have this knee, so the one that's rotated inwards, is just going to open up as far as it can and then drop it back to the floor. So just focusing on the one leg. Opening, I want to keep this leg as pretty much the same as you can. So keeping it still and just moving through this leg. Again, only go as far as you feel comfortable. Don't try and push it too many times in the wrong direction. Good. So you got most of your weight on this hip. It's opening out and in. Excellent. Just last time. Good. And then we'll just switch over to the other side. So I'm on my left hip now. Focus on my right leg moving. So again, use the hands to help support you, help lift you up. And then it's going to slowly open that knee out and bring it back down to the floor. So just, yeah, focusing on that single leg this time. And down, good. Again, also you're using your hands to help you, but try and use those deep abdominal muscles, lifting up a little bit to help sit up tall as you can. We're going to take 3 more times. Good, and finish off my last one. Excellent, and then I'm just going to bring the soles of the feet together. I'm going to face side on for you. So knees are out to the side. You can either have your feet quite close together. If you find your knees come up quite high, just bring the feet further forward. Absolutely fine. As from here, going to lift up through your chest, trying to keep a flat back to start with. Think about hinging forward from the hip. So you notice I'm not curling over. I've got my shoulders down, a nice long neck. And you want to think about pushing those knees down a little bit towards the floor. So you're kind of using the power in your legs to do that. And again, just holding it here. Doesn't matter how low you go at all, just trying to find wherever it is for you that you can keep a nice lengthened back. Good, and it's going to bring the body back up. You're going to place your hands behind you, bend through the knees, feet onto the floor, and we're going to push the hips up to the ceiling and open the chest. So I'm going to squeeze my glutes, aim for a tabletop position through the body, keeping the chin tucked in. It's holding for 3, 2, 1. Dropping the hips back down. Doing the same thing again. Soles of the feet together. Lifting up out of the hips. Folding forward or leaning forward. And again, it's not about getting all the way down. Just try and keep the shoulders down. Nice long back. And to breathe. Good, and just bring the body back up again. Same thing, hands behind you. I tend to have my fingers facing towards my body. I'm going to push through my heels so that my knees are above my ankles and squeeze at the top. Hold in here, open the chest for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hips back down. Sing one more time through. So again, lift up, soles of the feet together, hinging forwards from the hips. Again, trying to actively push those knees down towards the floor. Good, and bringing the body back up, hands behind you, placing the soles of the feet down, and then drive through your heels, squeeze it up. Good, engaging through the glutes. 3, 2, 1. Good, and then drop on the hips. We're just going to do one more time with the feet, but allow the body to curl over this time. So drop in the head, so relax the shoulders. And again, just taking a few deep breaths in this position. And just going to bring ourselves back up to the top. Okay, so next thing, you're going to need a sofa or a chair or a sturdy piece of wall that's definitely going to fall over. I'm just going to come over to the side here. And again, if you'd like to have a cushion underneath your bottom knee, especially if you have a hard surface for a floor, probably recommend that. What we're going to do is going to be for your hip flexor, but also you might feel this into your quad. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring one knee relatively close in towards the wall. So how close you are depends on how kind of tight your hips are feeling. So if you're not quite sure, maybe come back a little bit just to kind of ease it off. So I'm going to rest my foot against the wall. If you have a chair, you can hook the foot over. And then my other leg's going to come forward, roughly to a 90-degree angle. I'm going to gently bring my body up to get my balance. Excellent, good. So I want to have my knee above my ankle, my front leg. I want to tuck my pelvis forward from the back. And first we're just going to find this stretch. It can be kind of intense, depending on how tight you're feeling. So if this is kind of enough, just going to stay here and breathe through it. So you can have your hands on your thigh for balance, or if you're nearby and need some extra assistance. Just trying to get your shoulders roughly above your hip and potentially above your knee. And yeah, being quite active in terms of squeezing through the glute of this back leg. And you do have the option here, if this kind of feels relatively stable and comfortable, to bring the hands in line with your chest with the elbows out. And you want to twist over the leg that's front. So I'm going to twist to the back, just to my torso, and back to the middle. So just either keep it still or feel free to add this twist in. Making sure this knee stays facing forward, so the legs aren't moving. Good, I'm just going to take one more time on this side. Feel free to keep going if you want to do one or two more. Good. And I'm just going to bring my hands back down to the floor. Just gently sort of uncurl that leg. And then we'll reset and do the other side. So other leg coming in. Again, as close as you need to with that back leg. The closer your knee is to the wall, the more intense the stretch will be. So just finding the other side, 90-degree angle through that front leg, squeezing the glute with your back leg, and then as before, you can either just stay here and hold it, or bring the hands up, shoulders down with the elbows lifted, and you can twist in the direction of that front leg, just nice and smooth. Good. So the main focus is down towards our hip and our thigh, but just getting a little bit of rotation through the body as well. Nice. Okay, then about 15 more seconds, so whether you're holding still or twisting, just finishing off. Good, and then just gently bring your hands back down to the floor, and you can bring that foot and knee away. Excellent. Good. So next thing we're going to do is going to come to lie onto our backs. I'm just going to hug your knees into your chest to start with, and just go for a little rock from side to side. Good, and then just with the knees, I'm going to open them both out in opposite directions. So I'm going to open them away and then bring them together. Use my hands to help guide them round. Excellent, and then it's going the other way. Good, and then I'm going to bring my ankle to the top of my thigh, pushing this knee away from me. Grab them through my hands, get in the back of my hamstring or my shin, pulling the legs in towards me for a glute stretch. So keeping the head rested on the floor. Just going to hold here for about 30 seconds or so. Again, just take a nice, easy breath. So breathing in through the nose, exhaling out through your mouth. Good, last 10 seconds. And just releasing the leg and the knee that's lifted. You're now going to hold on to that knee. Straighten the other leg away. And then I'm going to take this knee across the body, opening out through the other arm. And you can use this hand to help guide the thigh down a little bit, but still try and keep both shoulders on the floor. Good, and when you next choose to breathe out, it's going to bring that knee back across the middle. I'm going to change legs to those two on the other side. So I'm just going to cross my ankle over first, going for that glute stretch, reaching the hands through, and then gently pulling the legs in towards you. Good, and if you've got a sort of like right arm length, you can use this elbow here to gently push that thigh away a little bit. Good, it's about 10 more seconds. And then just coming out of that stretch, the knee that's crossed over, hug onto that knee, straighten the other leg towards the floor. And then we'll take this knee across into your twist on the other side. Good. 10 more seconds or so. Again, feel free to stay for a little bit longer if you prefer. And just bringing the knee back into the middle. Again, just give both knees a little hug in, so squeeze them into your chest. Going for a last little rock from side to side. Good, and just release your arms. I'm going to come back up to an upright position. And what I'm going to do next, I'm going to come onto both knees. This next one is to focus on a little bit through our hips and the inner thighs. So just be careful with this one. If you are a little bit tight, also just go as far as you're comfortable. So just starting with the knees together, shoulders over your wrist. Just going to gradually either slide or just bit by bit open the knees at a wider position. So you want to still keep that sort of vertical line of your knee to your hip. I'll show you that way, it's really better. Try and keep the feet flexed as well, rough with the knees at 90-degree angles. Good. Just going to hold it here, going in as low as you feel comfortable. So you also want to get that little bit of a stretch, but think about pushing your knees slightly into the floor as if you're trying to squeeze your inner thighs together. So you can stay up on the hands, or if you prefer to go down onto the elbows, it feels better for your wrists. And again, you may just get a little bit lower as the hips start to release. If not, just hold it slightly higher up. Good, just last 10 seconds here. Again, this might feel slightly intense if you're not used to doing the stretch before. And then just bring yourself back up onto your hands. Squeeze the knees in. I'm just going to sit it back to a child's pose for a moment. So knees together or slightly wider apart. Extend the hands forward, hips back, and just holding here for 5 breaths. Good, and then it's going to bring yourself kind of back forwards onto your hands. I'm going to find a comfortable seated position next. I prefer cross-legged, but if you want to come onto your knees, have the hips extended, or you can also sit on a chair for this as well. I'm just going to place one hand onto the outside of my thigh, my other hand's behind me. I'm going to lift up, use this as resistance to twist, looking over my back shoulder. I'm going to try and stay as tall as possible and keep both shoulders open. Good, and then just bring yourself back to the middle. The hand that was behind you is going to reach up and over to take it into a side stretch, keeping both hips on the floor if you're sat down. If you're on a chair, just be mindful of holding on to something for balance. Good, and then just bring yourself back up, and then we'll switch sides. So the top arm is now going to cross over. This hand goes behind you. You want to lift up, roll the shoulders down, and then gently twist and look over the back arm. So keep trying to sit up as tall as possible. And then come back to the middle. Back arm reaches up and over into side stretch. Good. And then just bring the body back up. And just last little thing to finish off through your shoulders. So if you've done yoga before, this will be called eagle arms. If not, what we're going to do, I'm going to hit my right elbow over my left. Options here, you can either just have the back of the hands together like so. If you've kind of done it before, you can bring both palms together like this. So just finding that little bit of twist through the upper body. You're then going to round the shoulders and you're going to lift your elbows up. Almost kind of like you're trying to get your head towards your bicep. So you should feel a nice open stretch through the upper back. You're trying to keep those arms connected. Okay, moving, lifting up a little bit higher. Good, and gently release just to reverse that. Bring the hands either onto your lower back or down to the floor. If you're going for the floor, you want to roll your shoulders back, squeeze your elbows together and take a gentle arch lifting up and over. Same thing with the hands, just push them onto your lower back. Pinch the elbows together as you take a lift up, opening up the chest. Good. Nice big full breath here. And then to release the shoulders, give it a little shake out. So you can do that twist again on the other side. So if you're doing the same hand as me, left over right this time. Either having the back of the hands together, or if you can get your palms together, try that option. So you want to slightly lift the elbows up, and then you want to take a little curl back again, widening through your shoulders. Keeping your focus down into your arms. Again, maybe going a little bit higher up as you breathe out. Good, 3, 2, and 1, and just releasing the hands. Go for one more arch. Again, either hands on the floor or into your lower back. Wrap the elbows. Think about keeping the lower part of your torso still as you lean back. Shoulders down, chest open. Good, and just relaxing through the hands and arms. Give your shoulders a nice big circle backwards. Good, and then all the way back with the arms. Excellent, and then I'm just going to drop my ear to one side and just take a little semicircle over from right to left, just to ease out the neck slightly to finish off. Good, just last time. Excellent, and relax. Cool, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you found it helpful, and I will see you next time.